hate you. All right, record button's been pressed. You ready?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right. Hold on, let me find the cold open. Okay.
It's Texas. It's not fucking cold there. Shut the fuck up.
It's actually nice and cool. I like it. Hey, Cody.
Hey, Faxy.
So you want to know the first thing that pops up under the people also ask when I typed in F1 standings is?
Kind of, but I'm also scared.
You should be. So you know how when you Google something, it always gives the, well, people also ask blank. And I'm going to go from bottom to top. What time is the Imola Grand Prix? Who is the oldest F1 driver to win a championship? What are the F1 standings 2022? Do F1 drivers pee in their suits?
What?
I'm sending this to you on Discord. It's literally what came up whenever I Googled. I literally just typed in F1 standings. And that's what else popped up.
All I'm going to say is I hope it's not based off of other searches that you make. And that's why we're getting that information.
Roll intro before I throw a coffee cup at you.
But either way, this is the post-Imola recap episode here with the 107% podcast crew. I'm the Pie Menace, Cody Cattles Miller. Joining me as usual is Fosu fanboy himself, Faxi, the Greek gravel trap.
I'm just getting beached every day, y'all.
Faxi the beach whale?
Just call me Carlos Sands.
Sorry, there's already someone with that name. You can't take it.
Oh, fuck.
Well, as I say, thank you all for tuning in, whether on Spotify or YouTube. And make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at the 107 Podcast on all of them. Faxi, what do we have today first?
What do we have today? I mean, we've got the Imola recap. This was an interesting weekend. We had our first true look at the cars in the rain, which I'm a little sad that the rain stayed away from the track for the race.
I'm not.
Oh, come on.
Papaya podium. Papaya podium.
It was a good day for you, even though they were my team to watch, not yours.
They were my team. You and Aston Martin.
Oh, yeah, they were. Fuck. Anyways. Well, no, Lando was my dark horse. Probably coolest thing I remember watching from qualifying was that red flag when Albon's brake blew up.
Oh, that was actually kind of scary. That gave me like NASCAR tire exploding vibes.
Ooh, Race Fans actually has the cause. I did not see this. An incorrect switch position per racefans.net caused Albon's brake fire.
That sounds a very Williams thing.
That sounds like a Mercedes engine thing, because when I read that, my mind immediately went to the magic button. And you know what I'm talking about when I say that.
You mean the Hamilton Bennett button?
Yep. Oh, he didn't bend it. He just forgot to brake.
No, he tried to brake. It just...
he didn't bend it officially.
I mean, he bend into the runoff and hit anything, but...
It was...
Yeah, he definitely bend the win.
He did, and my boy Perez got the win. Qualifying, we got to see Max Verstappen take first. Charles Lespin took second. Lando. How did you feel about Lando going in third?
Fourth.
Fourth?
Lando was fourth.
Why does it say...
I want to say Lando was fourth.
No, he wasn't. I'm looking right at the qualifying classification. This was before the sprint, boo-boo.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Max, Charles, Lando, your boy K-Mag. K-Mag boating supremacy. I'm all aboard him. If we get a proper rain race, he's going to dump on everybody.
See, I don't want a proper rain race because that means Stroll will actually do well, and I just want to see him stay.
Does it mean Norris will forget what switching to intermediates is?
Well, I mean, hey, he might sit the very first lap. He might sit the very first lap and then crash, which that was a whole thing.
Do you want intermediates? No! Bum 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 na 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 na
I'm
na
racing
na.
here.
I'm walking here. Yeah, Carlos binning it. God damn it, Carlos. Sergio, I got worried about Perez. Only 7th in quali. Danny Rick in 6th. I mean, he showed a little bit of.
I mean, for Fernando in 5th.
Fernando in 5th. It was a great jumble, and God, that was the one thing people were saying. They're like, great, so the sprint's going to throw this all off. Which, to be fair, if the teams had more time to practice, we wouldn't have seen. The qualifying would have not been as jumbled. Let me see what else. Esteban, Latifi. Oh, we have to give a big 107 salute to Alexander Albon, who officially finished behind the 107% time.
Because he had no time.
Exactly, but that still counts. It still counts. He wasn't within the 107.
Why don't we just call it the Williams line at this point?
Bruh. Very fair. Sprint race. Joe, or if you're F or Sky Sports, Zoo, which I'm going to get to that bullshit. Joe crashed out, and then his team immediately forgot what having a scrutineer or a curfew meant while they were working on the car. Albon had a Latifi at the back. What's up with Gasly finishing 17th during the sprint? Was that a spin that I'm just forgetting?
He started 17th.
Did he do that bad in qualifying? Oh my God, he did that bad in That's right, because Yuki was right in front of him. I feel like AlphaTauri just hasn't had the get up and go. Although I'll give it to Yuki for shooting up to 12th.
And finished the race in 7th as well.
They did. And then both the Mercedes not in the top 10 to start the race.
And only one to finish it.
Were you in my Discord when we were actually talking about that fact? And it
No,
was brought up how long it's been since.
I was hungover, so I didn't watch it until later.
Damn it.
Well, okay, I thought I was hungover. Reality, I just had a stomach bug.
I mean, true. Hold on. God, and I found all the shit talking about the fake fucking yacht. I hate the fucking yachts.
Yo, hey, we just need a really wet race in Miami.
Wet.
Let the boats be free.
I can't find it. We were talking about it. Oh, it's been since the Japanese Grand Prix 2022 that the Mercedes Works team did not have a car starting in the top 10.
2012, you mean?
2012, thank you. Yeah, Japan 2012.
Japan 2022 hasn't happened.
I know, sorry. So yeah, Japan 2012, officially that day, Nico Rosberg 15th, Schumi 13th, and then the Mr. Hamilton hater, Paul di Resta himself, started P12. Your boy Magnussen, fucking K-Mag Supremacy, getting a point during the sprint.
Let's get it.
5th and 6th for both the McLarens. Okay. Red Bull Ferrari. We kind of saw that one happening.
McLaren pulling 7 points out of the sprint. I'll take it.
Yeah. Sergio pulling off fastest lap during the sprint. And then Joe, of course, having to start pit lane for the race because of everything I mentioned earlier. Oh, Joe hit Gasly. That's right. That's why Gasly couldn't catch up very well during the sprint. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he had a puncture.
Yeah. I got to give it to... Okay, I have a question going into the race.
Okay.
So, well, let me go through the race results real quick. Obviously, we all saw it, though. Carlos getting hit by Danny. He's retired. El Plan retired. His entire side pod just decided to yeet itself off of the world. Haas finishing behind Latifi. That's weird. Lewis only 13th. Albon almost got a point, only because I think Stroll didn't have a penalty this race.
Okay.
K-Mag 2 points. There's your supremacy.
Here's what I want to bring up for the race. This is the point I wanted to bring up. Would you have believed that one, Lewis had no spins, nothing like that, no mechanical issues, finished the race, was a lap down and behind of both AlphaTauris, a Haas, a Williams, and
his,
2 Aston Martins.
And his former teammate.
And an Alpha.
That blows me away. I mean, fucking
that
Sky
for me-
Sports didn't let us fucking forget about it. Sorry, that's a separate rant. Max, Sergio, Lando, 1, 2, 3. Charles decided to go Spinala, finishes 6th. Gotta give the 2 people I really have to give it up to are Valtteri and Russell, 5th and 4th respectively.
100%.
Like
For me, it's Yuki. I was super happy with Yuki, how he performed.
that's really weird hearing you say that. Can we talk about Vettel finally getting a proper race and finishing 8th?
It's a what race? It's a shit. Like
Well,
even if she's a little moist.
That and it
Vettel.
was his first actual race where he didn't have issues during practice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy for him. I really am. Your favorite driver got a point.
I don't know. He might be a little more than my favorite. He might be my favorite to hate on. I think it might be a little more accurate.
Fair.
Pissed he got a point. God damn it.
Oh, and Ocon finishing 11th, but then being dropped back to 14th because of the unsafe release. That was really close.
That was bad.
That was bad. Also, I was a little surprised. It almost speaks to how much, I don't want to call it being unlucky, just how tipped the scales are towards Max, that this was the first 1-2 finish for Red Bull since the 2016 Malaysian Grand Prix. Like, that shows you how much the car really is more suited to Max than it is anybody else.
I mean, how much of it is suited, I think, for times was not necessarily having a driver who is always your best secondary. Like, Albon.
Are you really going to say that about Danny Rick?
Danny Rick was probably one who had the Danny Rick was one who won in Malaysia.
I was testing you.
When they got the 2016.
I was testing you.
It's fucking Malaysia, of course I fucking know. But I mean, if you look at it, I mean, you had Albon.
Oh, really quick. Funny thing, I pulled up that 2016 and the notes under it. Fernando Alonso penalized 45 grid places for unscheduled power element changes.
I think it's just all of them are stacked.
Boy had to start from fucking Jupiter. Anyways, keep going.
Motherfucker, we're starting from Barcelona.
You were
It
saying
was a home race for Fernando.
I'm dead.
I mean, you had Albon, who, you know, as a young driver, Albon. I'm like, come on, like let's be honest here. Albon was not a top quality driver on a top team. He just wasn't.
I don't think he deserved a lot of the hate he got.
Oh, he definitely got hate on way too much. But that's probably
None of
the Red Bull system.
None of them deserved the hate that they got.
The only hate I have ever been okay with towards Albon was at the Nürburgring race in 2020, where Albon was complaining about Gasly racing him so hard.
Oh, yeah. That was probably the dumbest thing that's ever come out of a driver's mouth.
That was I don't know. This is some stupid fucking shit. I mean, look at Paul di Resta. But like that for me was like, okay, you deserve some of the hate, but like not to level he got it. Like he was. Anyone who's ever been the second driver has always struggled. And you tell me if Checo started shitting the bed week in, week out, I know he would get that same hate despite how everyone loves him right now. At least from, you know, the majority of fans. Obviously, there are people who are huge Checo fans and, you know, are going to, you know, want to support him no matter however they can. But the people who are Max fans.
Imagine saying huge Checo fans and not alluding to me.
I mean, I kind of was, but.
Oh, shit. We missed something in our news.
Which one?
Williams officially said that they will not renew Latifi.
When did that come out?
Bruh, that was back on the 25th. I found the tweet. I was going back to see because we were talking about some stuff. I was going to pivot a little bit because we were talking about Albon and Williams. And yeah, that is officially from Williams. Latifi, Williams Racing and Nicholas Latifi opt not to extend their contract for the 2023 Formula One World Championship season. Because I immediately started going off in the Discord saying it's pastry time.
Oh, apparently it's not.
Who would they bring in?
You're really gonna hate on me for a while?
Yeah. Who?
It'll be related to some later news.
Okay.
As we wrap things up.
Okay.
Nick DeVries is the rumor.
Okay.
It's bullshit.
But okay.
Nope.
Pastry.
Pastry's a temporary solution. They want a driver they can keep for a while. That's why Nick DeVries.
Okay. That's...
I mean, Pastry's a loan deal that they're never going to keep him.
You know what? That actually does go back to the end of last year when Williams basically had it Albon versus DeVries, and now they've got the opportunity. And he is a Mercedes driver. Okay. Yeah, that's... Okay. Damn it. I want Pastry, but... All right.
Sky Sports?
Yeah, speaking about the fucking race... Like, I haven't been quick to hate on the commentary, but now I'm starting to see the points that people are saying. The commentators are clearly up Red Bull's ass. I'm sorry, just that's truly what it looks like from me.
Which is funny given last year they were clearly up Lewis's ass.
Well, Paul di Resta's always been he just comes off as anti-Mercedes all the fucking time. Also, my personal feelings on this, I find it disrespectful that he can't say Guan Yu Zhou's name correctly. He calls him Zhu. Or Zhu. Go back and listen. Like, fucking learn their names. It's not that hard, Paul di Resta. Max Verstappen stan. And the amount of times that I heard and saw in the recap about Max lapping Lewis. We get it. It happened. Shut the fuck up. Like, I watch F1 TV for the race. I don't watch ESPN. And I kind of want to watch the actual F1 TV presentation and hope that Will Buxton's better. Like, yeah, I get it. I miss Crofty do his lights out and away we go, but I don't have to hear all the bullshit after that. You have any thoughts?
I just like the races where Paul di Resta isn't there. Those are the good races.
Oh, so where he's off doing endurance.
Yep. Best races there are.
Oh, I love the fact that he retired from endurance after not being able to win Le Mans, and now he's back again. He signed up for an LMP2 car.
Well, he's won Le Mans. He won 2020.
He did?
Yep. With United, which is Zach Brown, McLaren Cohen team. And he's also McLaren's reserve driver.
He's still a reserve driver?
Uh-huh.
Boo.
Well,
obviously, I'm not a fan of him.
I think only because of requirements of like to have a certain amount, and that's just because of him being, whatever it's called, part of United, which, and I said is
Oh yeah,
found
McLaren
it's Zach
retained
Brown.
DeResta as a stand-in driver for. Okay, he is technically a reserve driver for McLaren.
Yep.
He can do so much better.
Trust me, I know.
Oh, apparently DeResta is actually going to race hypercar this year.
Can you just race like every race so we don't have to worry about him ever being on commentary?
You realize their season's like 6 races, right?
I know, but like, can you be like doing sim racing or something those weeks?
Anyway, God, we're awful. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's about as much. We're starting to get off track after the race.
Yeah.
Going to the standings right now.
Oh, on our script, I actually have him wrong. Just ignore that.
Oh no, heaven forbid.
I know.
Driver standings. Obviously, Leclerc had a chunk taken out. 86 points to 59. Russell falls out of third. It's now Sergio. Sainz somehow still in fifth.
Norris in sixth ahead of Hamilton, who is currently battling with Valtteri for seventh.
Latifi 21st. And
To be honest, I don't think
Stroll's
that's ever
doing
gonna
better than
change.
Schumi.
Actually, I think Latifi will get 20th only because Hulkenberg, Latifi will get a higher points finish when Stroll fucking punts the whole field a la Hungary. He'll team up with like fucking.
I am rolling my eyes so hard at you right now. I'm
Am
just
I
glad.
wrong?
I just
Am I
find it
fucking wrong?
I just find it neat that Vettel has points.
Vettel has more points than Alonso.
K-Mag has more than Ricardo. I think that's the weirdest. And Valtteri's in 8th.
Okay,
That's
it
weird
makes sense
to me.
it makes sense that K-Mag and Daniel are around the same, given they both had actually K-Mag had more testing time than Ricardo did.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you catch COVID.
Even despite the last minute swap for Haas, K-Mag still had more testing time.
Yep. Somehow Ferraris still have the constructors 124 to 113. Then you got the Golf back to Mercedes.
It's called Red Bull DNF powertrains.
Fair. Then you got the Golf back to Mercedes, then the Golf back to McLaren, then the Golf back to the rest. Alfa Romeo, I still can't believe Alfa Romeo's in 5th. I had them back around 8th or 9th.
I had them on 10th, I think.
Fucking.
Also check that opening our shakedown episode.
Also Aston Martin 9th after finally getting points. It's so weird. Just Aston Martin could do so much better. It blows me away. Let me see. Anything jumping off the page here? El Plata.
I actually had
points.
Alpha as 8th for my team. I had Haas as last.
Damn.
Hey, I actually currently have AlphaTauri in the right spot.
Hey,
and
you did
McLaren.
something. I'm proud of you.
I'll take it.
I'd pat your head if I could. Yeah, probably one of the biggest shocks aside from Hamilton is Alonso with only 2 points. But he's kind of had a shitty start to the season.
I mean, 2 DNFs.
Yeah. Can't really call the Imola one his fault. Same with Sainz. He got punted by Danny. And also, hats off to Danny for walking over to the Ferrari hauler to go talk to Sainz.
Hey, if this was NASCAR, they'd just go fight in the pit lane.
True, but at least
I
showed
think
class.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, he's always one of those drivers who has, I think, it's just why he's so likable in general. Like, there are people who don't dislike him, in my experience. Like, you may not love him, but it's hard to, like, hate him.
Fair.
I feel like if we're bringing up that incident, I feel like that was very much, like, obviously there will be some bias from me, but trying to be as unbiased as possible. I feel like it was very much a racing incident on a wet track. And like obviously it was kind of an awkward situation.
It was a racing incident on a wet track.
Yeah.
But still, he knew he was kind of a little more at fault. He went over there. He talked to him.
Yeah.
I think there was an article F1 themselves put out talking about Sign said the mechanics really appreciated
Yeah.
Danny Rick doing that, which, I mean, stand up, gentlemen. Period. End of story there.
Yep.
Let me see. We got to talk about our podium predictions. I don't know the scores. I told you not to tell me before we started. How are we doing?
I got Steve. I just sneezed. Holy crap. In a quite good weekend for the Faxi, you gained, actually in the past 2 weekends, you have taken a resounding lead. Faxi was 17 points, and I am at 8.
What did I get right from the last one?
Max win.
I'll take it. I will take those 5 points and run with it.
I got 1 point for Max on the podium. I had Charles and Carlos. You had Max, Carlos, Lewis, which I think you should lose 5 points for having Lewis on the fucking podium.
See, here's the funny thing. We didn't put that, so fuck off. I'm still first place, which is really weird.
You should lose points for every place you are off of what they're supposed to be.
I mean, God, no.
No, because I'd be fucked because I've had Carlos on my podium like every single fucking time.
You really have.
I've also had Max on my podium like every fucking time. It'd be like negative 300 at this point, all the DNFs.
Tell you what wasn't a DNF was the FIA meetings that took place. Weren't they in London?
Who knows?
But we had
you tell me.
I forget where they were. We had let me look it up actually. F1. I literally sit at work and I type in F1 news, and literally anything and everything I want to learn comes up on my screen. I love it. Yeah, the Formula One Commission met in London on Tuesday. Quite a bit of news coming out of it. Their F1 and all 10 teams want to double the number of sprint races to 6. They can fuck off with that shit. FIA actually put a pin on it. Or in it.
You saw why, right?
You said money, but I didn't see if there was a real reason.
It was for the FIA like the cost for the FIA to do the extra day worth of racing sort of thing.
Good.
So they said they want money from Liberty to help balance out, to make it financially kind of, cover for their expenses.
Oh, no wonder why they're going to Miami with all the bullshit. Yeah, so Penn's been putting that. What else did I put? They obviously went over the engine regs for 2026. I know those are pretty much in place. Same hybrid engines, removing the MGUH, which I think that was the big concession that was thrown to get Audi and Porsche involved.
Yeah, if I believe so, yes.
And then they are moving towards 100% sustainable fuel.
Needs to happen. Makes sense.
Well, something quit being sponsored by crypto then. The next 3 things that I wrote, that I sent to you, I was actually a little surprised. And I like these. And I hope you do too. I'm indifferent on the next one.
I don't like the second one. I like the first and the third.
So helmet cams are in place from 2023 onward, all drivers. That's going to be interesting. I think that is a nice additional thing to have when it comes to the steward's room, to have that extra bit of evidence. I think that's why they did it, honestly. It's obviously Liberty's like, hubba hubba, look at the entertainment value. But F1 and the FIA are like, hubba hubba, look at this extra telemetry. Or they already have the telemetry. They get that extra little bit to see in the cockpit. I'm here for it. And honestly, it's been very interesting to see the different races and the different things that are popping up on their wheels. Like I know during Imola, right at the beginning, it was Ocon. His steering wheel started yelling at him that he was over revving on the start. I think Leclerc had something pop up a race before that was talking about his tire temps. And it's really cool to me to be able to see that. We will never get that level of realism in F1 2020, or sorry, F1 22 or any of the other video games, but that's a rant for another day.
Especially if you're racing on a controller like Faxi.
Hey, fuck you. I am a controller stan. AKA I don't have the money for a wheel right now. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I'm a little surprised to hear that you are not a fan of moving from 13 to 11 sets of tires.
I'm
just waiting for you to explain yourself.
I don't think it's going to change anything. Like,
I think 13 is a sweet spot, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's because I know they're at 15 for a while, if I remember right. And which was like, okay, that's a bit. You break it down. There are 5 sessions. You're playing out for 3 sets of tires per session. Okay. 13 makes you think a little bit more. All right. Well, hey, maybe
and we need to clarify. Going from 13 to 11 dry sets.
Yeah. Obviously, what already has their requirements. I believe it's 3 of each for the weekend, or is it 5 of each for the weekend if they are given wet? I forget.
I've got it up. It's 7.
7 of each.
13. Well, no, sorry. 13 dry, 4 intermediate, 3 wet.
Okay.
Because the wets can last for forever and a day if they're not being burned up.
Yes. I know it is dependent on if there's rain on just Friday, if there's rain the whole weekend, kind of what their allotment ends up being as well.
Fair.
Because I know there's kind of some variation of how many of the Pirellis they get. I think 11 cuts it down too much. Because you think about it, Sundays you're running through. You're planning for 2 sets, and you're probably planning for a third, assuming you get a puncture or an extra stop, something like that.
Yeah.
So that brings you down to 8. You're gonna run through. If you get to Q3, you're looking at 2 to 3 sets. Sometimes 4, if you're testing things out. So that brings you to 7 sets. On the high end, it leaves you 1 set for each of the free practices.
Fair.
I think that's too little. I think 13 is. That's why my thought is 13 is the right number.
I feel like it is a sweet spot because even at that, you hear of some of the front running teams, running out of allocation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting. I kind of like it. Like their whole thing is they're trying to parade it around under sustainability.
No, it's not that.
I mean, no matter what, all of the tires just go back to England and are shredded down and used in a cement factory.
No.
So.
Sorry, FIA and F1 don't give a fuck about sustainability. Anything they say is word service.
Lip service, you mean?
I was there as word service, so
okay. I had just never heard that variation. My bad.
Maybe it's a Midwestern thing. I don't know.
You fucking cheese curd eating motherfuckers.
Dude,
fuck. Now I want some
yesterday.
Cheese curds. Fuck.
Yesterday. I don't know what day it is. But I cheese curds. Fuck you, man.
I will say I'm glad to hear you're a fan of, and I need to find my source. I can't find it right now, but I did read that they want to shrink the cars and the weight for 2026.
Mm-hmm.
AKA, they want to make the car viable for Monaco.
We race at Monaco?
Honestly, I'm just going to start calling Miami Monaco Light.
See, my issue isn't with the track at all. It's just all the rest of the pompous bullshit that comes around.
That's why they want to be Monaco so bad. That's why it's light, not Monaco 2.0. Watch the racing be awful. I just want to shit on that thing.
I
Let's
want the
see.
racing to be awful, and I want it to just like be a complete bust, so they never race there again.
You know what is completely a
Because that way
bust?
they can race at Road America instead of Miami. So I can get a race close to me.
It would probably go to Indy before that.
I'll get closer. I'll do it.
You know what is a bust?
No.
Both of the race directors.
Yeah, according to Sky Sports, I saw this we were kind of getting set up because I was kind of doing my last minute browse for our news and stuff. Both race directors testing positive for the you know what.
The panorama.
Yep, they are a full-blown
the
panorama.
Backstreet Boys reunion tour, as one of the YouTubers says. I know Gamers Nexus calls it human malware. Yeah, they both tested positive. I think our boy Engine Mode 11 actually retweeted a picture of Massey on the phone.
I hear it will not be Massey.
It won't
all.
be, but that was funny.
Per Craig Slater from Sky Sports News, Massey is currently in Australia and is not being considered as a possible replacement. No one has formally agreed to be a stand-in yet, but he speculates Herbie Blash, Colin Haywood, or Scott Elkins.
Okay, so 3 people I don't know.
Yeah. My favorite was actually on the Reddit thread about this was someone said, "Fuck it, no race director. But let Toto and Christian handle all racing decisions."
That's actually, huh? Yeah.
Scott Elkins is the Formula E race director.
Okay. It makes sense they would bring him over.
Herbie Blash is the senior advisor to the race directors for F1. And Colin Haywood is the deputy director.
Okay.
To me, deputy race director. He was part of race control for 30 years. He is the race control systems manager.
Okay, it makes sense then.
Yeah, so he's kind of their underling right now. It looks like.
Wait, what was the name of that last person? Fuck, I already forgot.
The one I just mentioned.
Yeah,
Colin Haywood.
Okay, sorry. I was looking at another article. I was actually peering ahead to see if they've announced who the stewards are for Miami.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the driver steward is going to be Danny Sullivan, the 1985 Indy 500 champ.
Well, as long as it's not Paul DeRusta, we're good.
He's too biased.
Are you ready for the rumor dump of the century?
Yes, please. I've been jonesing for this. I did not know any of this until you sent me the script. And you know how, I don't want to say pog, but just, I've been ready. Come on, give me the good shit.
All right. So if you guys aren't familiar, Joe Soward's a reporter who's done a bunch of stuff for like 30-something years now within the Formula One kind of community, whatever you want to call it, journalism world. And usually it's pretty accurate on his stuff. Like, it's usually spot on, or at least damn close, or we'll hear something of, it was supposed to happen and then something came up, sort of thing. The first one, Fernando Alonso will be signing a new 2-year deal with Alpine to remain through 2024.
That's very surprising to me.
I mean, I know there's a quote from Fernando. He's in a race as long as people aren't beating him on merit.
You know? Okay.
Which, I mean, to be honest, isn't really happening. Like, a lot of times when he gets past, it's because of a car.
I mean, he's having a shit beginning, but yeah, it's been the car.
Yeah. Which definitely makes sense of then Alpine shopping around pastry to try and get him a seat. Could we see? I'll tie it into this next one.
Okay.
Ricardo possibly replaced by Herta in 2024, if not earlier, due to Ricardo seeming a little bit lost at McLaren, and Zach Brown believes that having Colton Herta in that seat could open the gates of Formula One to corporate America, like with Herta's Gainbridge sponsorship and such from Indy.
I mean, he's obviously going to be testing for McLaren this year. Or he already is. He is a test driver for them.
This makes me think, could Ricardo be replaced by Pastry for 2 years?
At McLaren?
Pastry is currently a McLaren reserve driver.
No, fair. It just, my thought then, you know what would make sense for Ricardo? I want you to just close your eyes and I want you to imagine.
Are you going to say AlphaTauri?
No.
Okay.
What the fuck? No, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine the Andretti F1 pairing of Pato and Danny Rick.
I might have to mute my mic.
You like that idea? It makes sense. It makes business sense. America loves Danny.
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, he's a fucking Earnhardt stan. Of course we do.
Oh, yeah. It would be an Andretti wet dream to have Zach be like, oi, you want our boy.
Gainbridge Andretti Racing? Because Gainbridge is going to be title sponsor if they're pulling Herta.
Oh, obviously.
So, I mean, you'd have a, full, wonderful, weird Aston Martin name where it's, whatever, Aston Martin Ramco, whatever. So you'd have, that would be kind of insane.
Yeah. That, we need to remember this moment. A,
And
it's
then
the
you
first
have-
time I've said something like that you agreed with, and B, watch it happen.
Honestly, I just like to see Pastry in a fucking seat.
We all would.
It's like, and Pato in a seat? Fuck yeah. I mean, it'll never happen. But yeah, it's more likely he goes to an Andretti seat than he goes to McLaren seat, given kind of McLaren having this interest in Herta as of lately. Which is unfortunate. I love Pato. But he has had a rough year in Indy. But yeah. The other thing, honestly, my favorite of all this news.
Pumping my arms.
By Joe Soward. He's been hearing some rumors for some weeks. The Germans are getting more and more ambitious and want to get a 10-year deal for a race.
Shoo me!
And this is probably only going to happen at Hockenheim, as the Nürburgring Ring is owned by a country we shall not name oligarch.
Fair. I would love to see Hockenheim get a race again.
And it has to be a mandatory wet race every year.
You're only saying that because of 2020.
Send them bitches on the 2019. Send them bitches on the drag strip.
That was a great race, though.
That's one of those races where I will rewatch that race. That and Canada 2012.
That was one of the best races ever.
That race, Canada 2012, are both great. Like, those are races that I'm like, I want to watch races where it's a fucking clusterfuck, and you can rewatch it. And I still don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
I think it's still on YouTube.
I mean,
remember
F1
when
TV.
F1? Well, oh yeah, that too. Well, for people who don't have F1 TV, because remember they started airing a bunch of those classic races on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure Hockenheim 2019 was one of them.
There is not a full race.
Bullshit.
I am looking. There's...
Okay, they probably took it down.
However, there's a 20-minute video.
Yeah, they did.
F1, that's the extended highlights.
Yeah, they
Watch
did the
it.
extended, and then
If you guys-
I'm actually not going to parade the other one. Yeah, Germany 2019 extended highlights. Easily one of the best races you and I ever saw.
Amazing. It's so good. I think and that for me, that race is up there with the 2020 Austrian and Styrian Grand Prix as well. The back-to-back races at the Red Bull Ring as also being really fucking good races.
Those turned out to be really good.
The only that was where I think where everyone was like, "Wait, this year actually might be really good," and then Hamverbot. But yeah, that for me is one of those races where I'm like, I can watch this race and just be happy watching it whenever.
I'm there.
It's just so good. But that's all I have for our wonderful Joe Sauer news. Actually, what I mentioned earlier. Because of the whole Fernando to Alpine extension thing, they are trying to get our boy Pastry at Williams, which obviously, like you mentioned earlier, is looking for a replacement for Latifi. And Williams has come out and said multiple times that they don't need funding and wants some decent drivers, all that jazz.
So DeVries.
But they want to build up its own driver squad, and they quite like the look of Nick DeVries.
Fair. I'm sad for Pastry, but he'll get his time.
Yeah. I hope so.
Man, this was a week. Are you ready to shit on Miami next week?
Just next week? Fuck, we've been doing it for months.
Watch it turn out to be the best race we've seen in a while.
Honestly, I'll take it. I've been surprised before by us having good races in places where we expected shit races. Like, look at France last year and the race that's no longer on the calendar this year that we had last year.
Yep.
In the wet. So, yeah. I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to finish off.
Yeah. Well, this has been our post-Imola recap episode here with the 107% podcast crew. I am the Pie Menace, Cody Cattles Miller, and joining me as usual was Tifosi, fanboy himself, Faxi the Creek Gravel Trap.
Still waiting for somebody to get Sainz's car out of me.
Which will take longer. Someone to get.
I caught you off guard.
which will take longer? Someone to get signs out of you, or someone to get Valtteri's wheel off from Monaco last year?
The answer is neither. Somebody to get Max out of the gravel at Portimao.
Or out of the wall at Silverstone. Yeah, I think
get the fuck out. Okay, I'm done.
He melded with that wall.
Into the podcast. Right. We're done.
Thank you all for tuning in, whether on Spotify or YouTube. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at the 107 Podcast on all of them. And that's going to be all for us today. Y'all have a good one.
Stay out of gravel traps.
Stay off Faxi.
I hate you.